Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning. I bid to all participants of the IE System 2021 program. I am Nur Hanim Soleha binti Muhammad Saidi, together with my group members which are Dr. Mas Nurbani binti Abu Samah and Dr. Badrul Muin binti Muhammad Adam. For your information, I am a graduate from IPG while other group members are my lecturers. Today I will present my study entitled Knowledge, Skills and Interests of Trainee Teachers Majoring in Science on the Readiness to Use Dual Language Program DLP. According to Nur Hashikin Hamaluddin 2019, Dual Language Program is an academic program for the schools to have the teaching and learning in two languages, the official spoken language and English. DLP is also a continuation of the second wave of the Malaysian Education Development Plan PPPM 2013-2025 and is being implemented gradually in selected schools throughout Malaysia. Ministry of Education Malaysia 2019. DLP gives the option for the schools to use English in the teaching and learning of science and mathematics subject as set by the MOE. The intention of implementing DLP is to support the students' mastery of English language skill. Besides, it provides opportunity for students to explore various fields of knowledge to compete globally. Selangor State Education Department 2017. At the same time, DLP also enhances literacy skills among students and teachers. There are 4 problem statements that I will present. First, Ministry of Education stated only a small proportion of teachers were able to teach science and mathematics entirely in English, Mayan 2017. The effectiveness of DLP depends on the teaching and learning process in the classroom. Therefore, teachers play an important role as a medium of knowledge dissemination. According to Nur Hisham Shamsuddin 2018, students' mastery in science through the DLP program is based on the teacher's teaching strategy. Teachers need to master concepts and terms, teaching strategies, and approaches based on interest so there will be no misinterpretation throughout the teaching process. Readiness is a level that must be achieved by a trainee teacher to perform a task or job effectively. Trainee teachers are an influential component in the establishment of high education quality. Therefore, any process of improvement on the education system could not be done without the support of highly skilled trainee teachers. The implementation of the DLP program requires a high level of readiness aspect by trainee teachers, which includes knowledge, skills and interests of trainee teachers. I have divided the objective of my study into 4. First, to identify the level of knowledge of science major trainee teachers on the readiness to implement DLP. Second, to identify the skill level of science major trainee teachers on the readiness to implement DLP. Third, to identify the interest level of science major trainee teachers toward the readiness to implement DLP. And fourth, to identify the level of differences in readiness to implement DLP with the perspective of trainee teachers in IPG. Based on the objective of the study, there are 4 research questions that can be identified. First, what is the level of knowledge of science major trainee teachers on readiness to implement DLP? Second, what is the level of skills of science major trainee teachers on the readiness to implement DLP? Third, what is the level of skills of science major trainee teachers on the readiness to implement DLP? And lastly, is there any significant differences in the willingness to implement DLP with the perspective of trainee teachers in IPG? According to Nadia Hasbullah and Melo Yunus 2018, the effectiveness of the dual language program DLP depends on the teacher's perception on the readiness in implementing DLP, the teacher's competency level as well as the resources provided to the teachers. Teachers should improve their knowledge level, training and self skills. Theory of Conditioning by Edward Thorndike 1911, which includes the law of readiness and the law of training. Edward Thorndike defines the law of readiness as the ability of an individual in initiating any learning activity. Besides, Amadi 2018 mentions the significant factor in improving the teacher's readiness is the interest based on the Edward Thorndike's law of readiness. Furthermore, the law of training involves the relationship between stimuli and response. If continuous training is carried out, the relationship between stimuli and response will be stronger compared to the previous training. In addition, I also refer to the Bryan Educational Process Model 1974, which identified 3 main factors in order to determine the effectiveness of educational practice. It includes input factors, pedagogical strategies, and attitude. According to Nur Fatahiyah 2020, input factor refers to the teacher's knowledge. Meanwhile, the pedagogical strategies refer to the teacher's skills. Based on the theories and model that I have mentioned, I can conclude that the readiness of the trainee teachers in the DLP implementation includes the construct of knowledge, skills, and interests. Based on a research conducted by Nur Hisham Shamsuddin and Nur Azilawati Abdullah 2018 entitled The Readiness of Primary School Science Teachers Toward the Implementation of DLP, I found out the knowledge level, skills, and interests of the teachers are at the moderate level. Meanwhile, another research entitled An Evaluation of the Implementation of DLP Among Science and Mathematics Teachers by Nur Azilawati Abdullah 2019 highlights the construct of the teacher input, which includes knowledge, skills, and confidence level is at the moderate level. However, the process construct, which include approaches, teaching strategies, and assessment, are recorded at a high level. This section covers the research design, population, and sample of the study. This study is designed as a survey research and it is a quantitative study. Quantitative data were recorded by using a set of questionnaire. Then the data of the study were collected and analyzed descriptively and inferentially. The study population involved a total of 238 IPG trainee teachers representing the eastern, northern, and central regions in Malaysia. These are the list of IPG involved in the data collection. It is IPGK Datuk Razali Ismail, IPGK Pulau Pinang, and IPGK Trainee. For the study sample, I used the Cauchy-Morgan 1970 sample determination table, in which a total of 148 people were selected as the sampling of the study. The selected sample has a similar characteristic of the original population in which they are pursuing in the science education program. Furthermore, for the instrument used in the data collection, I have modified an instrument from a study conducted by Nur Hisham Shamsuddin 2018. A set of questionnaires is divided into 4 main sections. In section A, it is specifically for the demographic information of the respondents, which includes gender, semester, IPG, SPM grade for English subject, and previous experience in PPSMI. Meanwhile, for section B, C, and D, each section covered the construct knowledge level, skills, and interests of the respondents. Each construct in the questionnaire is composed of 10 items using a Likert scale. The Cronbach alpha for each item in the questionnaire are 0.869, 0.779, and 0.790 respectively. For the data collection procedure, the first step is the validation of the research instruments by the supervisors and experts. Lecturers and expert lecturers is conducted before proceed to the next step. Secondly, the pilot study was conducted and proceed with the third step, which is the re-verification of the research instrument. Fourth, the distribution of the instruments is carried out to the respondents of the study. Final step is the data finding. The data that has been collected will be analyzed. First, I have constructed a profile table of study respondent, frequency, and percentage. Second, test for the normality of skewness and kurtosis. Third, descriptive analysis of mean and standard deviation of construct. And the fourth is the interpretation of the data's construct level and its report. The final step is inferential analysis ANOVA to identify significant differences between the willingness to implement DLP with the perspective of trainee teachers. The findings of the study are the same as the study conducted by Nur Hashikin Hamaluddin 2019, which is the level of knowledge is at a high level while the level of skill and level of interest are at a moderate level. As for the inferential analysis, I have used the ANOVA test and found no significant difference in the willingness to perform DLP with the perspective of trainee teachers in IPG. The result of the study found that the level of knowledge of trainee teachers is high. This proved that the trainee teachers have mastered the concept of DLP and have sufficient knowledge of the science content used in the existing curriculum. In addition, science subjects require emphasis on the fact, concept, and theories acquired by the teacher helps in the school session. In addition, I found that the level of skills and interest of the trainee teachers was moderate. A study by Siti Salina 2018 found the implementation of DLP plays a role in creating a fun learning environment. Nur Hashikin Hamaluddin 2018 also stated that if this method can be well implemented, then the confidence level of speaking English among the teachers will also increase. The findings by Nadia Hasbullah and Mulo Yunus 2018 stated most teachers agreed that they have not mastered English yet and more comfortable to teach using Malay language. Therefore, a prerequisite for schools to implement DLP is the readiness of the teachers. Malaysian Digest 2016 states young trainee teachers have a better readiness for the implementation of DLP. The findings of the study also found that there was no significant difference between the readiness of trainee teachers based on the perspective of trainee teachers in IPG. This study is different from the study conducted by Siti Noor 2019, where she outlined the perspective involving skills of teachers, attitude, and interest to make changes in implementing the teaching process. Next, the conclusion of the study, trainee teachers should be prepared with sufficient knowledge and skills such as the use of scientific terms in English as well as good English comprehension skill. Secondly, the level of the knowledge, skills, and interest that could produce a teacher who is optimistic and compassionate when it comes to his or her pupils. Thirdly, the level of readiness of the trainee teachers in terms of knowledge, skills, and interests should be highlighted as the trainee teachers play a significant role in the society as the agent of change and an excellent role model to the society. The implications of the study are divided into two, specifically towards the trainee teachers of majoring in science course and the IPG as well as the Ministry of Education MOE. For the trainee teachers majoring in science course, this study could provide useful information on the current readiness of the trainee teachers for the DLP implementation. Besides, trainee teachers able to improve themselves in terms of knowledge, skills, and interest in order to be prepared in their future career. In addition, the implication for IPG and Ministry of Education MOE is through the implementation of programs, courses, or DLP workshop seminar, specifically for trainee teachers. Furthermore, the parties involved also could increase their collaboration between an MOE and the English Language Teaching Center (ELTC). That's all from me. Thank you.